So, hello everybody. Welcome to the What's New webinar of Zoho Analytics for the quarter Q3 of 2023. We are so thrilled to have each and every one of you join with us here today as we will be looking into the various features and enhancements that are released in the last quarter. Now, before getting into the session, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Charanya from the product management team here at Zoho Analytics, and I will be your host for this webinar. Now, joining with me today are my colleagues from the product management team. So, we have planned this session in such a way that we will have an elaborate Ask the Experts session at the end of this webinar, where we will have a panel of members from the product management team who will be taking up and addressing all your questions. Let's see the agenda for the day. So, most of you might have already been familiar with Zoho Analytics, but however, we might also have new users as a part of this webinar. So, for them, we will be quickly seeing an overview about what Zoho Analytics is. Next up, we will be seeing all the new features and enhancements that are released in the last quarter. And at the end of the session, we will have a quick summary of the discussed features, and then we will open up the floor for questions. So Zoho Analytics has been in the market for more than a decade of time. We have been known for one of the early products to be providing analytics service in the cloud BI space. We are currently catering over 16,000 paid organizations with a user base of over 2 million users who are present globally in and over 150 plus countries, and the list just keeps growing. Now, in this slide, let's quickly see the various stages of data analysis operations that are available in Zoho Analytics. Now, please note that this session will also be following the same format that we are to discuss. So, to start any analysis journey, you need to bring in your data, your business data, into the analytics platform. So, for that, we are providing integrations for over 250 plus data sources that are broadly classified as databases, data lakes, your business app connectors, to your local files and feeds, and a lot more. So once you bring in your data, you will then start preparing and processing the data. And once that is ready, you will be moving on to the visual analysis layer. Here, we offer pre-built reports and dashboards for business app connectors. So all that you will have to do is just authenticate your service, and then you're basically good to go. And the next is AI-powered feature, which is Ask Zia. So Ask Zia is a chat-like interface where you can ask questions in the natural language and get insights and reports that are generated instantly. It is built on top of technologies like natural language queries, natural language processing. So recently in the last quarter, we've also introduced OpenAI's ChatGPT capabilities to our Zia technology. So now you will be able to consume all the market standard AI support from inside Zoho Analytics itself. Please note that earlier we've enabled it only for the US DC, but recently we have now enabled it for all the available DCs. We are also known to offer a very intuitive drag and drop UI, and we currently provide over 50 plus inbuilt visualizations, and we keep on updating the list. So next up is the collaboration part. So this is where you bring in your business stakeholders and provide them with fine-grained access permissions. You can also give them a customized set of access permissions using custom roles. You can then intuitively visualize your reports and dashboards in the form of data storytelling. And not just that, you can also host your data in our microsite, which is an analytical portal that serves your business. Okay, let's move on to the core agenda for the day. So from the data connector end, we have recently released Klaviyo and Mixpanel integrations in the last quarter. So the first connector that we will be seeing is Klaviyo. So Klaviyo is a leading automation platform that is used to drive different marketing campaigns such as email campaigns, your SMS campaigns, and so on. So now the question here is, who can benefit from all this? So if you are a marketer, or that you're trying to optimize your marketing approach in your business, then you need to gain deep insights about your campaign's performances, your customer behavior, and the engagement, and a lot more. So, this integration will now allow you to more effectively target and personalize campaigns based on the insights that you get from the Zoho Analytics dashboards. You can bring in data from Klaviyo into Zoho Analytics in very few steps. Let's quickly go ahead and see the setup for the same. So, this is your home page of your home screen of Zoho Analytics. As you can see here, I have various workspace setups. Now you can go ahead and import your data. As you can see, Zoho Analytics has been offering a lot of databases, data sources. So first, let's see the Klaviyo connector. Here, you need to give the API key and authenticate your Klaviyo account. So once you authenticate your account, you can then go ahead and choose the core business modules and fields that are necessary for your business. Now, for the sake of time, I have an existing setup of the Klaviyo workspace. So as you can see here, these are the various pre-built dashboards and a number of reports. And you can see here are the core modules from Klaviyo. So let's just go ahead and see the overview dashboards. So this is the campaign overview dashboard. As you can see here, there are many key performance indicators for your business. And then this campaign's performance monthly trend, your campaign conversion funnel. Here, let's quickly take a look at this funnel. So as you can see, this is a funnel representation of the email campaigns through Klaviyo. As you can see here, this is the received email percentage. From the 20%, we have 17.8% of the clicked email. And down the trend, you can see the number of opened email to the number of dropped email, and then the bounced email. And at the end of the funnel, you will see the number of emails that are marked as spam. So similarly, we can also see the campaign's monthly performance trend. So as you can see here, you can hover over the legend values and the report will be highlighted to show the specific trend. So you can see the received email trend across the different date columns that you have here in the x-axis. Similarly, you can see the open email count, the dropped email trend, the bounced email trend, and the marked email as spam trend. We also have a stats table that shows the email campaign's performance. So we also have a dedicated campaigns dashboard. So this dashboard will also have the conversion funnel, the campaign's performance monthly trend. But in addition to that, it will also show the different distribution of list type, the different distribution of list type by list size. We also have the top 10 campaigns by clicked emails. Let me just quickly show one of them. So as you can see here, you will find the top 10 campaigns by the clicked emails. Similarly, we have the top 10 campaigns by received email and the top 10 campaigns by opened emails. Now, not just that, we also show the bottom 10 campaigns for the bounced emails, the bottom 10 campaigns for the dropped emails, and the bottom 10 campaigns for the emails that are marked as spam. Now, if you have set your campaign through a workflow model, then you can now track the stats for the same here. In this dashboard also, you will have the key performance indicators. For example, your received emails, your clicked emails, you have the number of emails that are opened. You can also find the performance monthly trend here. As you can see, it's similar to the monthly trend view that we saw in the Klaviyo overview dashboard. As you can hover over the received email, the clicked email. Next up, here also we will have the campaign conversion funnel for the campaigns that are set through workflows. You also have your top 10 metrics and the bottom 10 metrics. Similarly, we will also be providing pre-built reports and a dashboard for the profiles dashboard as well. Moving on. As we now know that Klaviyo is widely used along with the Shopify e-commerce application. So for the ease of usage of the customers, we take care of the unification of these two services in Zoho Analytics itself. So while you're trying to set up connection for the services, We will automatically blend data from these two services and create meaningful visualizations on top of that data and analyze key metrics over these two services. So as you can see here, these views shows product transactions that are triggered due to the campaigns that are run in the Clavio. So here also you can see the key performance indicators, your fulfilled order value, your cancelled order value, your fulfilled order quantity, and again your cancelled order items. Similarly, you can also find the product ordered quantity. This is the monthly trend here. Again, you can see the value trend, the quantity trend. Not just that, you can also forecast the value using our forecast functionality and also the forecasted quantity. Right? So this is the dashboard. You can also see the other metrics like the placed orders values. This is the quantities monthly trend and a lot more. So not just this integration setup, Zoho Analytics have also been supporting various integrations from a wide range of marketing applications like your HubSpots, your MailChimp, your Zoho campaigns, your Google Ads, your Google Analytics, and also your social media marketing services like YouTube ads, Instagram ads, and a lot more. So feel free to check them out as well. So next up on the connector is Mixpanel. So Mixpanel is a user analytics and engagement platform. It helps businesses to gain insights about how users interact with their digital products. So if your business is using Mixpanel, then we now provide a direct integration with Mixpanel. For that, let's navigate to the import screen of Zoho Analytics. As you scroll down, you will find the Mixpanel setup. You can just now give your service account username and your service account secret key. Once you're done authenticating, you can integrate all the core and necessary modules. Then you can perform advanced analytical operations and create visualizations with our AI-powered assistants with utmost ease. Now, since Mixpanel is a custom solution platform, we don't provide pre-built reports and dashboards. But as I said before, you can jumpstart your analytical journey with our highly user-friendly drag and drop interface. That's all the update that we have from the new connectors in. Moving on. We will see the enhancements in the data connectors. The first one is retaining the correct format in Zoho CRM. So this update is for business that has an existing Zoho CRM setup in your analytics account. Let me go ahead and navigate to the Zoho CRM setup that I have here. So this is the data source screen of the Zoho CRM account. And go ahead and just edit the setup. So as a general rule, whatever formatting options that you have configured and maintained in your Zoho CRM application will be automatically updated in Zoho Analytics. But however, if you have made any changes in the formatting options in Zoho Analytics and that you wish to override the CRM settings with the format settings in Zoho Analytics, then you can enable this checkbox. So this will retain the currency, date, and decimal values format that are configured in your Zoho Analytics account. So next up is SSL certificate for MongoDB. So we've been planning to support SSL, which is the secure socket layer technology for all our databases. Now on that list, we have now enabled this feature for MongoDB as well. Let's go ahead and navigate to the MongoDB screen. So this is again your import screen. Here you can find MongoDB under local databases. You can just go ahead and choose MongoDB. As you can see here, we have the SSL option. Here, you have two connectivity options with SSL. You can choose to go without certificate or with certificate. So if you proceed to go in with the certificate option, then you need to place the certificate in the appropriate mentioned path. You can always cross-check our help documentation for further assistance. So next up is the Live Connect functionality in Informix database. So Live Connect is nothing but the direct querying option where we only just store the metadata information like the table name, column name, and the data will be in live sync with your source table. We have been lately supporting this functionality for all our databases. And the next up on that list is the Informix database. For that, you can also find Informix here in the same local databases. You can go ahead and choose this. So this is the connection establishment screen. And at the bottom, you can find the data input and live connect option. You can go ahead and just choose live connect and enter all the essential credentials for the Informix database and go ahead with your setup. Next up, we have also introduced new modules in Zoho campaigns and Zoho projects. So in Zoho campaigns, we have survey ID module. So if your business is sending surveys as a part of your campaigns, then now you can track your business metrics for the surveys that are sent via campaigns as well. So similarly, in Zoho projects, we've enabled the task module. Here you can track the recurring frequency time span, the recurring frequency type, the recurrence count, and the occurred recurrence count. Moving on, let's see all the update from the data preparation layer. So the first update is grammar suggestions and error correction in query table editor. For this, let me quickly navigate to the product screen. Let's go ahead and create a query table. So this is the query table UI. So in the last quarter update, we have given a major enhancement to our query editor by providing an open AI-powered Ask Zia's query suggester. So this will now help you in generate queries by just asking simple natural language queries in the prompt tab, which will also generate your queries, and you can also edit on top of the generated query. Now the update we have made here is that we've made the query table creation even more easier by providing SQL queries grammar-based suggestions for keywords, table name, and column names as and when you type in the query. So for this, let's take an example. Let me go ahead and create the campaigns lead count. So let's go ahead and type in the query. So as you can see here, when I just enter S, you will have the keyword suggestion for select. And once I do that, it'll show me the relevant keyword suggestions, and then it is showing all the column names. So let's just go ahead and choose the column name. So I've chosen the campaign. Then let me go ahead and choose the leads count. So since we are going to perform a count operation here, let me go ahead and add the count function. We'll call it as leads count. As you can see, it is then again showing the relevant keyword suggestion. I'm going to choose it from, since I've used from keyword, it is showing all the tables. Let me go ahead and choose the table. So that's it. Let's go ahead and group by it one. So when you execute the query, you get the leads count for every campaign. So that's the update. All right. So next is the formula suggester enhancement. So for the formula suggester, let's go ahead and take the deals table again. You can go ahead and add a formula column. So this is the formula suggester that is powered by OpenAI. Now we have enhanced the prompt engineering techniques by which you will be now getting more relevant responses to your questions. You can also observe higher success rates for the queries that you type in. Now, please note that we will always be continuing to enhance the performance for the better usage of the customers. Also note that only the user prompt, meaning what you enter here, will be shared with ChatGPT, and we will not send you your data or the model. So for this, let's quickly take a sample. Let's say we need to find the time spent for every opportunity based on the created date and closed date. So as you can see here, it is giving me the right formula. So that's the update. Moving on. So that's all we have from the data preparation layer. The next is augmented analytics. So any feature that uses AI-based capabilities is what we call it as augmented analytics. So under Augmented Analytics, we have Ask Zia and Zia Insights. So let's quickly see the updates from these two. So the first is Ask Zia's data synonyms. Now we have an existing feature where you can set synonyms for the column names of the table. For that, let me quickly navigate to the product screen. For this, let's take the Insights by City table. So this table contains the insights of the selected Facebook pages and it's broken down by the city names. To enable this, you can go to More and Ask Zia settings. Let's quickly choose the table. Here, you can set the synonyms for the table for the values like for city you can give synonyms as municipality, township, town, and urban area. Here you have the OpenAI powered synonym suggestor as well. Now setting these synonyms will train Zia for the same. And now when you type in questions with any of these synonyms that you have given for the column, it will still give the result for the respective column, which is the city column here. Now adding to this feature, we have introduced data synonyms. So here you can give synonyms for every unique cell value. So let's take an example. So city of Brussels can also be called as Brussels. Similarly, San Francisco can also be abbreviated as SF. Let me go ahead and save these settings. You can now navigate to the Ask Zia setup. Let's quickly ask Zia to get the impressions, get the total impressions unique from the inside city for the city SF. Here, as you can see, the Ask Zia has returned a result that shows the total impressions unique value for the city San Francisco, even though I have abbreviated it as SF. So that's the update. Now to ensure the security, we have restricted this feature for columns that are marked as personal data and for remote databases as well. Moving on, we have a couple of interesting updates from the Zia Insights front. So for those of you who are not familiar with Zia Insights, it is again powered by our AI technology, which is Zia, and it will be giving you important business insights and helps you understand the relationships in the data on top of the visualization that you have on hand. So here you need not necessarily sit and decode the key metrics on top of the visualization that you have in hand. So with that being said, let's quickly see the Zia insights for this visualization. So let's go ahead and choose the total sales by user value. So here you have the date range in the x-axis and the total invoice amount in y-axis. We have multiple users in the legend. So to generate Zia insights, you can go ahead and click Zia insights. All right. So the update that we've made here now is that Zia Insights are now trained to give results based on the filtered data from the legend. So for example, if you are to exclude certain users from the view, the insights will also be adjusted to provide metrics only for the filtered data from the users in the legend. So that is the first update. Similarly, the next update is if you are to share a specific view to the user, you can set fine-grained access permissions, which will let you can set fine-grained access permissions, which will let the users consume the visualization. Here, you can also give Zia Insights, which will let users consume Zia Insights metrics on top of the shared report. Now, the update that we have made here is that earlier, if a shared user tries to consume Zia Insights on top of this report, the metrics displayed will only be on the involved columns in the report. That is, in this case, only the date column, the users column, and the total invoice amount. But from now on, if you are giving additional columns in the view underlying data section, Zia Insights metrics will also be generated for all the columns for which the user now has the underlying data access to. For example, if you are giving invoice number and invoice ID in the view underlying data section, now the Zia Insights metric will also be including metric values that has column name as invoice number and invoice ID. So that's all the update we have for the augmented analytics layer. Moving on, the visualization layer. So the first is new functions and widgets. So we have made a significant improvement to our widgets by introducing new functions like forecasting and the ability to calculate minimum and maximum values, among others. Now, to get a better grasp of these enhancements, let's quickly see a demo. For this, we go ahead and choose a sample dashboard. So let's quickly see the sales overview dashboard. Let me choose a widget. So here I've chosen this widget. Now the widget is showing the invoice amount as the data column, and it is grouped by the invoice date. The format that I've set here is month and year. Now for the primary value, I have made the invoice amount as the latest value. So this latest value will be showing this month's invoice amount, which is of October. Now for the secondary label value, I have given the forecast functionality. Here, I have asked the forecast function to give me the data for the next month, which is November. Similarly, you can also give the percentage of difference from to latest or previous value and difference from to latest of previous value. Now let's see this example. So you can see here. So this is the widget that I have set the forecast functionality to. So this now shows the October month's invoice amount. Now, since I have set the secondary value to show the forecast function, here it shows the forecasted value for the November month. So that's the first update. And the next update is that, let's say you just wanted to see when this dashboard was updated. So for that, you can now just go ahead and mark any date column to show the maximum value and use the widget. So for that, let's quickly choose this widget. Here I have chosen the date column to show the maximum date. You can also set the minimum date or maximum date. And once you apply, as you can see here, the max date of this dashboard, which basically shows the refresh time of all the data in this dashboard. So that's the update from the widget's end. Moving on, we have the drag and drop views across tabs. So if you have a design eye for all your dashboards, then these updates are going to be very interesting for you. We have made certain small yet significant enhancements that will help you to easily create and consume dashboards. Let's quickly navigate to the dashboard. Let's take the same dashboard. So we have made a set of enhancements in the dashboards. For example, you can now easily toggle between the different tabs in the dashboard. Like, say I can create a new tab, go to the first tab, and pick and drop it in the second tab. Now, instead of creating a new tab from this section, you can also pick a view and hover over the plus icon to create a new tab and just place it in the new tab. Not just here, you can also pick a view from here and drag and drop it here. From the left reports pane, if you're searching for a specific view, you can just go ahead and pick and drop it here as well. So that is the first update. In terms of styling, let's go ahead and choose themes and customize. Let's choose the card table. You can now adjust and set the radius and margin values to higher range. So let's say setting the values to the highest value. Apply it in the dashboard. As you can see here, the spacing between different cards and the edges of that card are adjusted to the settings that I have set in the card styling. So next is static states and map. So if your business consists of data that is captured from different cities, you can now choose to just filter and retain certain cities. For that, let's go ahead and choose the United States population map. There you can see it shows different states population. To set these values, let's go to map settings. Here we have introduced a new submenu for states. So let's go ahead and choose United States. And instead of showing all states, let's go ahead and choose Arizona, Texas, and New Mexico. Once you apply these settings, as you can see here, the data is filtered to just show the population for the 3 states. Now you can contextually use these maps based on the states and share it with individuals of your choice. Moving on to the pivot enhancements, we have now show hide data as row functionality, and we also have column header alignment. Let's see these updates in the dashboard. So for that, let me quickly go ahead and choose a pivot table. Here we have the visitor count, leads count, the converted leads count, the customers, and the one amount as column. For the update that we are to see, let's change it as rows. Now let's say I don't want to show the one amount for every month, and all I just wanted to see is the grand summary of that. Now to do that, let's go to the show hide settings, choose columns, and select the one amount column. Here you can exclude the data and apply the settings. As now you can see the data for the one amount is excluded from every entry, and just the grand summary is shown. So that is the first update. Next is that you can go to the format settings and you can set the column header alignment of your choice. We've given left, center, and right alignment. Let's just go ahead and choose left alignment. So now the pivot is adjusted to show the data of your alignment choice. So that's up with all the updates on the visualization layer. Moving on, we have the updates from the sharing and collaboration part. Here is where you bring in your business stakeholders. We have dynamic file name for email scheduled reports. Here, if you are to share any visualization via email, then you can set it up in the sharing navigation panel. Let's go ahead and use the same pivot table. Under share, you can choose any email type of your choice, any data type that you wish to append in this email. So this is the screen. You can set the do CC functionality. You can customize the message. You can also schedule your report. And you can also set the advanced settings. Here, if you want to append the email send time in the subject, you can go ahead and enable this. Similarly, if you want to append the timestamp in the file name, you can go to the report options. Here, you can give the dollar symbol, open and close braces, and type date. So this will return the current date. You can also give previous date, which will, give the previous date and the next date functionality. So that's the update from the email schedule end. Moving on, let's see the updates on the REST APIs. So we have updated our REST APIs to, from the API end. So now you can get APIs for the get shared details for the views, remove private access, make views public, and you can also remove public permissions. You can also get public configurations, update the published configurations. With respect to trash, you can now get, restore, and delete trash views. And on the context of batch import, you now have the direct batch import and then to add new table and to update the existing table. So that's all we have for this webinar. Let's quickly see the summary of the session. Let me navigate to the first window. Right. So we started off with the new data input support from Clavio and Mixpanel. Then we saw a few enhancements on the existing connectors, where we retained the Zoho CRM, and then we saw SSL certificate for MongoDB and live connectivity to Informix database. And finally, on that layer, we also saw a few module additions. Moving on to the preparation layer, we constructed query table with the help of grammar suggestions and discussed ChatGPT's enhancements in the formula suggester. Next up, we saw an update to support data synonyms from Ask Zia. And then we ran through a couple of updates from Zia Insights on the support of legend-based filters and view underlying data access. Following that, on the visualization layer, we looked into the new function supports in widgets to a couple of design updates in the dashboard. And then from the geo mapping, we looked into the support of static states and map. And finally, we went through the updates in the pivot table. And moving on to the final layer, which is the collaboration part, how to append timestamp to the file names in email schedules. And we also saw the updates from the REST APIs. Thank you for joining and have a nice rest of your day.